The white Jews migrated from Europe and Germany, white Christians, to Israel. The Arabs and Muslims know they were put there and are backed by the U.S. white Christians. They aren't the real Jews. Oh, okay. Okay, so I think that maybe we're not you and I aren't aligning. Is that you have a different vision of God. So let's clear some things up before I move on to show how what you're pushing is the same thing as DEI. It's the same thing the Muslim Brotherhood's pushing. It's all part of the same disease that thinks that the color of skin is what makes one superior. So the thing is with the King James Bible, first of all, there's a reason that that there's books that aren't in there. Like everybody loves to run around and say they kept this book out, they kept this, they didn't put this book in, they did right, because they had to be first century writers, I mean, because they were people that saw it, they were there. Like that's why it was that important. But you go on to carry on about all this writing that was, centuries after, or that you say were found, and it all serves one agenda. I mean, it serves the Islam nation. It serves the ancient religions, really. And it's all about this. It's all about the black Hebrew Israelites that say that they're the true descendants. And of course, they would stand with BLM and the Muslim Brotherhood and Palestine, because it's all part of the same thing. It's all part of the same thing you're talking about. A bunch of people that have made it all about the color of skin. So this was 2008, and it basically they won't even let people in that are not brown or black into their church. But it says there's confrontations on the street, and they're all over the nation. Confrontations between Hebrew Israelite street preachers and their perceived enemies are growing uglier and gaining increasing attention through video clips circulated to legions of viewers on websites like YouTube. One recently circulated Israelite school video, which has been viewed more than 26,000 times, shows a group of robed street preachers harassing a white woman until she bursts into tears. Another shows preachers applauding as a white man kneels down to kiss the boots of the prophets of God while begging for forgiveness for sins of his race. So this is the God you're talking about, correct? This is the true God, and all of the other nonsense you left me, that this is the true God. It's all about the race. It's all about the color of skin. But again, the continent Africa was the very first place that the chosen people were enslaved. But I think that God used this chosen word to cause a whole bunch of people to fall into a trap, because this has led to this. And it's the white man's fault. They are the devil. And that's how Islam sees America. The Islam nation sure does. The Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas, yeah. The true devil is America. They believe the God that we follow is the devil, when really it's the other way around. That's why BLM, Hamas and the Palestinian and all these Americans that marched with Hamas, they all worship a different God. They kneel down to the black man. Should any man, white or black or brown, be kneeling down to other men? Absolutely not. But what's gone on over the past 15, I don't know, even longer years than that, people started kneeling at the national anthem. Oh yeah, we had to do that, right? Because we're a racist country, and we follow the devil. So amazing how all these groups just align together. And yet, hateful groups, hateful. In Baltimore, there's a sanctuary. The paintings of a black Yahweh or Jesus adorn the walls of the sanctuary inside the Baltimore storefront Israelite church, along with the images of dark-skinned angels. The walls are lined with posters bearing the names and images of the 12 tribes of Israel and the nations who are believed to represent each of those tribes today. The biblical tribe of Judah, for instance, is said to be the forebearer of today's African Americans, while those of Levi, Benjamin, are believed to have become the Haitians and West Indians of the present. And then there's this person, Grant, his name is Grant, that follows this group. And it says, since 2001, Grant has produced the Archangel Awards, a version of the Grammys for musical artists who are avowed loyalists of the Israelite church. The most famous of them is Wayna Morris, the lead singer of Boyz II Men, a popular R&B group that's won 4 real Grammys and sold over 60 million records. According to the former members of the church, Grant has instituted mandatory tithes and general offerings from his followers. The vision of Grant and his fellow Hebrew Israelite hardliners is an imminent and bloody demise for whites and other enemies at the hands of a vengeful returning Christ, is well captured in a scene from a 2007 documentary, The Gods of Times Square. An extremist Hebrew Israelite preacher delivers a sermon with his foot planted on the back of a white man laying flat on the sidewalk, arms splayed, and a second preacher approaches and says, "White boy, you're next. All you white people get ready for war. We're coming for you, white boys. Negroes are the real Jews. Get ready for war." So the timing of and this alliance is all just so perfect. I mean, you got the Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas, Islam Nation, BLM, the black Hebrew Israelites that seem to have forgotten that Africa enslaved God's chosen people. But again, God's chosen people has nothing to do with genetics or race. But I think God used it because he knew it would draw out the people that aren't the true people that even know his word. And it's all about this. It's all about the annihilation of the white man. Yeah, I mean, was that what the Holocaust was about? I mean, really? That's why, after George Floyd, that viral incident worldwide that was totally misrepresented in every way, and he died of a fentanyl overdose, autopsy showed. But this all started happening. Yeah, the white man better start taking a knee because the black skin is superior. This went on all over the nation in 2020 and beyond, all designed, all tied to the very enemies of God, which is all of these terrorist organizations tied to Palestine, tied to Hamas, tied to Muslim Brotherhood, tied to that to think that the true Almighty God would be about the color of people's skin. What a disgraceful moment for America. But all these charlatans did it. They made it all about race. That's what it's all about for some people. And the Islam Nation has convinced these people they're the true black Hebrew Israelites, as if that's the only thing that's important to God. But then this goes on to say that this is okay. So I think that you and I, we're not on the same page we're talking about two different gods. My God does not see the color of skin or race.